Today's lesson is adding dissimilar fractions. Okay, so let's start with skip counting by 2. Do you still remember skip counting by 2? So let's have this. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. Okay, so I will give you time to write it down again without copy. Okay, just do it. You can do it. Okay, that's correct. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. Okay, next, let us remember the skip counting by 4. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, 36, 40. Okay, I'll give you time again without copy to try to write down the skip counting by 4. Okay. Okay, that's correct. So here are our skip counting by 4. Okay, now let's try to have an example. We have here 1/2 and 1/4. Okay, so the first thing that we need to do is identify the LCD. Okay, so what do you mean by LCD? That is correct. That is least common denominator. Okay, so let's have our fractions. First we have is 1/2. The second is we have 1/4. Okay, so the denominator of 1/2 is, that's correct, 2. And then the denominator of 1/4 is 4. Perfect. Okay, now list the skip counting of 2. Okay, and then list the skip counting by 4. Okay, now let's observe the numbers. We need to select the common numbers, okay, which has the lowest value, okay, which is 4. Okay, that is correct. Now our LCD is 4. Now 4 divided by 2. Okay, that is correct. 2. Okay, 2 times 1 is 2. Now let's have the second fraction. Okay, 4 divided by 4 is 1. 1 times 1 is 1. Very good. Next is, let's add them up. 2 plus 1 is 3. Very good. And then copy 4. Therefore, the answer or the sum is 3/4. Perfect. You got it. Okay. Now, let's have another example. Okay. So, let's start with remembering the skip counting by 5. We have there. Okay. Now, let's try to write it down without a copy. Okay, very good. Okay, that is correct. You got it. Now, let's remember the skip counting by 10. Okay, now we try to write it down without any copy. Okay. Very good. You got it. Okay, now let's try to add another dissimilar fractions. Okay, using this examples. Okay. So we have a given example, 2/5 and 3/10. Okay, now first thing is identify the LCD, which means least common denominator. Okay, so the first fraction we have is 2/5. And then the next fraction that we have is 3/10. Now what is the denominator of 2/5? Very good, it is 5. What about 3/10? That is correct. The denominator is 10. Now list the skip counting by 5 and for 10. Okay, list them. That's correct. Now identify the common numbers, the common list numbers. Okay, the common is 10, which is also the least numbers. Okay, now that is our least common denominator. Divide 10 and 5. Okay, 2 times 2 is 4. Next, 10 divided by 10 is 1 times 3 is 3. Okay, so add them up. 4 plus 3, 7. And then copy 10. Therefore, the sum is 2 is 7/10. Okay, now let's remember, let's keep counting by 3. Okay, so we have 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30. Now try to write it down without any copy. Okay, for you to remember the skip counting by 3. Doing good? Okay. So we have the skip counting by 3. Okay, next is we need to remember the skip counting by 6. Okay, there we have it. Okay, you also need to remember this one and try to write it down without any copy. Okay, that is correct. Okay, so we have this 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, 42, 48, 54, 60. Okay, now let's try to have an example. Okay, 1/6 plus 2/3. Okay, first thing that we need to do is to identify the LCD. What do you mean by LCD again? Perfect, least common denominator. Okay, so first fraction we have 1/6 and then the second 2/3. Denominator of 1/6, that's correct. What about the 2/3? Perfect. Okay, now let's it down and then the 3. Okay, now try to identify the least common denominator, which is 6. Okay, 6 divided by 6, 1 times 1 is 1. For the next fraction, 6 divided by 3, 2 times 2 is 4. Very good. Now add them up. 4 plus 1 is 5. Copy 6. Therefore, 1/6 plus 2/3 is 5/6. Please don't forget to subscribe. Thank you guys.